I'm in the shower. Look at how ugly and gross I am after a day of work. Real deal. Obviously, we're not going to show you everything because this is not the place for that, and I'm not on any of the places that are for that. Definitely not. It's been a long week. I'm kind of grateful that I got to work a little bit today because for a while there it was looking like there would be no work to do today. I'm in construction, as you know. If you do construction work as a construction person, you have to get permits to do work, and then they got to inspect the things you're doing to make sure that it's safe for stuff. And the city is just a bunch of bureaucratic assholes like that, and they've been kind of jamming us up over some bullshit. It's whatever. So we got some stuff today that we did. We didn't do a whole lot. We couldn't do a whole lot. There wasn't a whole lot of us to do it. My hair is so happy to be down. I'm totally going to shave my face tonight. I'm going to shave my face tonight because I don't like this shit. It makes me look even more garbagey than I look. Now, once I grow my beard out, my beard looks pretty good and makes me look pretty okay. Maybe I might look better with a beard than without. I don't know. I'm not a very handsome man, but I know I look and feel like shit right now because, I've been out all day. And then I left work slightly early, like 3:30, somewhere in there. I had to go to my bank, deposit my check. I got bills. Everything's due tomorrow. I got my car payment due tomorrow. I got a counseling session tomorrow. I got to pay out of pocket for that. Something I desperately cannot afford, but I have to take anyways because I'm on disability, or at least I was, and now Social Security is accusing me of just gaming the system and making way too much fucking money. I'm like, where is all this money? Well, I might have had money at one point, but we all got to keep going somehow, am I right? And then also I got a debt consolidation payment to make tomorrow. I got in with a company that I'm not going to name because the views and opinions expressed on my channel may not coincide with theirs, and I'm not trying to drag them into my shit show. But I am grateful that they took my case, and I got like 5 credit cards that are just maxed out and closed out, and they've gone to collections. Well, almost all of them have. So it's good that I'm addressing that because my credit's below 400 now. Yeah, your credit can go under 400. It's wild, I know. Anyways, I don't know. It's also oil change weekend, so I paid like $80-something at AutoZone for a passenger side wiper blade, a jug of motor oil, and an oil filter. That's it. Almost $100. Strongest economy ever. So tomorrow when I get back from my counseling session, I guess I'm going to change my oil and rotate my tires and check my brakes. And then probably play some video games. Before I go to my counseling session, I'm going to rally all my weekly expenditures and see what I can write off and what I can't write off from what I've spent, because I'm incorporated now, so I get some write-offs. That helps. I don't know. When I finally do go to pay my taxes, I don't know if I have to do it annually or quarterly. Really need to have a conversation with the bookkeeper on that, unless they're going to charge me for that conversation, and that's money I don't have. So I'm not really making anything. By the time, so let's just say I paid no taxes and I just cashed checks and spent it all, and there was no taxes. Right now, after all of the bills that I pay with rent, utilities, car payment, car insurance, cell phone, home internet, debt consolidation, personal counseling for fucking filing an appeal to disability to keep my health care, not including alcohol, not including food, gas, miscellaneous tool purchases, PPE, like work gloves, they have to be bought every 2 or 3 weeks because they get worn out. Replacing work pants when I tear out the ass, and then literally I'm left with 1 paycheck a month to live off of. That's for alcohol, that's for food, that's for anything I personally want to do. anything I want. Expendable income, it's all down to just one paycheck a month. That's it. That's what I get. That's what's left. So presumably, come due time for taxes to be considered, probably 2 or 3 months out of the year, I'll have like no paychecks to live off of a month to cover my tax burden. So there'll be like an entire season worth of time. Because think about it this way: if you want math, when the government charges you, say 25% taxes, like, so you got to pay 25% of your earnings. Let's just say, right off the top, that means 3 months out of the year you're working for the government for free. You get nothing for 3 months out of 12 months. That's 1/4 of a year, 25%. So now you start to see how important it is to deduct what you can. So like when I have my car, which I'm currently trying to figure out the paperwork, I'm turning that into a work vehicle, a company-owned vehicle. Everything that I use that vehicle for is work-related. I drive to and from work in it, and pretty much 98% of the time when I leave my house in that car, it has something to do with my work. I'm going to the store to get more work gloves. I'm going to the store to buy more work pants to wear to work. And I don't wear those pants anywhere other than to work because they're covered in roofing tars. They got holes in them. They're stiffened up with dried concrete. They're not the kind of thing you would ever wear out of your house on a whim unless you're just going to work to just get physically beat to hell and back for nowhere near enough money. And I gotta hand it to a lot of people out there that are doing worse than me financially. The fact that you guys keep plugging along, good for you. Because there's people that have it worse than me. They get no checks to live off of. They basically eat ramen noodles. And I've been there. I might be there sooner than later, depending on how things play out over the next several months. I don't know. Where I live is not working out. I gotta leave at some point. We're not being forced out or nothing. It's just for what we're paying, we're not really getting good faith efforts from our landlord, and so we gotta be out. Because the house is falling apart, nobody's fixing a fucking thing, so I got water that comes into my fucking bedroom every time it rains, and it's just unacceptable. I'd rather live in my car again than deal with that, to be honest. My girlfriend, she's looking at apartments. She's looking at travel trailers. We're trying to figure that out. I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, pretty hardcore stuff. I don't know. I just figured Friday night, hey, how y'all doing? Catch you up on my life, how things are going. I watch all these VTuber cat girls, and I watch all these political commentators, and I watch all these people that are having such a nice, comfortable life. They can just sit here and politically commentate on politics all week long, rattle on and on about the WNBA and about the Biden administration this, and Fani Willis that, and what have you. And meanwhile, the only thing I really care about personally, I'm not worried about any of that. I'm like, I just got to keep going. And I would like to quit drinking. And it's not because I don't like drinking, but I'm getting fat again. And with all these calories, it's because it's empty calories. And it's also costing me a lot of money to continuously drink on a daily basis. It's not cheap. And my psychologist or psychiatrist or therapist or whatever you want to call the guy, he's like, oh, you don't need pills. I'm like, bro, Valium, as things stand right now until they cut off my health insurance, which is coming, I can get that prescription for free. It has 0 calories, and I'm not going to stay on pills for the rest of my life. It's to get me off the fucking alcohol. Because then, what I can do is I can go like 2 or 3 pills a day, and then go to 2.5 pills a day, and then 2 pills a day, and then 1.5 pills a day, and wean off for the sake of, my long-term well-being. But this drinking all the time shit, I don't even feel it anymore. It feels like nothing. Like, I feel normal drinking. I'm a functional drinker, which is the worst place to be with your drinking habit. If you drink and you're completely functional and you just drink every day, I'm not sitting here drinking like a fifth a day or anything crazy like that, but I drink anywhere from 5 to 8 servings of alcohol a day. It's not sustainable. My liver will be quivering long before I'm retirement age. And then I'm getting fat because the calories. It's not the alcohol that makes you fat. It's the calories in the alcohol when paired with how you eat. And if you consume less calories than you burn, then you get fat. If you burn more calories than you consume, you're in a deficit, you lose weight, which is what I need to do. But it's very hard to have a calorie deficit when your deficit gets drinking up. I would be 400 or 500 calories in deficit every day, but then you factor in my drinks, and I'm like, well, now I'm over. So at this point, it's more of a vanity thing that I want to stop drinking. I don't even want to stop drinking for my health. I'm vain, and I don't want to be fat because I'm not a very attractive man. Being physically fit counteracts the unattractiveness a little bit and makes me a little less disgusting in the eyes of society. So if I want to be less ugly, I have to be fit-ish. And I'm not fit-ish if I'm developing a gut. My belt doesn't lie. And when there's notches, like I have to let out another 2 notches, well, then you know you're getting fat. I mean, I don't care about my weight. I could be 230 pounds and I could be an absolute unit and have like a size 31 waist. But I'm not an absolute unit. And I'm not that heavy yet. But I will get there if I don't calm down on the drink. It's a real conundrum. It's a fucking problem. And I don't do drugs. I'm not into vice. It's not my scene. So there's nothing I can really replace this with. If I get the Valium prescription and we start at 5 milligrams and then step it down to 2 milligrams after I can get to like 2 pills a day, because I'm going to have to start at like 3. You're like, oh my god, that's a lot of Valium. Look, dude, that shit just makes me feel normal. I'm a little manic because I'm just in a slow burn state of freaking the fuck out on a continuous basis, okay? I've never been responsible to this extent for this long sustainably in my entire life, and I'm just kind of bullshitting people. Like, I had builder inspectors coming in today, and my boss, the general contractor, wants me to represent the company, and I don't know what the fuck they're asking me, and I'm sitting there like, oh... And I'm like, what do I do? Like, I gotta fucking sit here and say smart shit so that we don't get jammed up too long so that we can go back to work. Because otherwise, we could be up to like a week, 2 weeks without no work to do, and then I don't get paid. So I'm sitting here fucking keeping up with this dude's bullshit, trying to make shit up to say that sounds smart. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. I'm in a slow burn state of constant anxiety. So, like, fucking, like, you ever heard of imposter syndrome? I mean, I know a lot of people self-diagnose, and, you know, you get these motherfuckers pulling out the DSM, which is, like, the book where you, like, have all the mental diseases listed. Like, some people go shopping and are like, ooh, that sounds cool. I'm a victim of PTSD. Motherfucker, no, you're not. You never had your buddy blown up next to you and fucking wore his brains as cologne for fucking 3 days in the trenches with no opportunity to rinse that shit off. Never happened. You don't have PTSD. I'm not saying that I'm, like, clinically, like, what did I just say? Imposter syndrome. Maybe I'm going to a therapist to get my diagnosis confirmed for mental disability because that's what I went on for, and I am mentally disabled. But we're just making sure that's still true. And because I'm going to see a professional, he's going to make all these determinations. I have not mentioned anything to him about what I think's wrong with me by name or by suggestion. I'm not leading this dude on. I'm not priming him to give me a specific diagnosis. I'm just being honest with him and just laying it all out on the table. Just, this is my situation, motherfucker. And letting him pick the words to classify me with. So we'll see what he says. It should be interesting. He sent me some questionnaire about, oh my god, does your past trauma, do you just relive it over and over again? I'm like, why the fuck would I relive my past trauma over and over again? Yeah, I have been through some actual shit, and I assure you, the last thing that people who have actually been through absolute shit would want to do is relive it over and over again. Because number one, if it was one of the shittiest days in my life, why the fuck would I want to keep going back to it? And number two, I'm not a fucking woman. Women have a tendency to replay conversations they had throughout the week over and over again. Men are on to the next shit. How can I fucking put my foot in my mouth tomorrow in a new, creative, and interesting way that is completely unique from any other ways that I've fucking sabotaged myself in the past? Men are forward thinking. I'm looking to fuck up in new ways next week, not the same ways I fucked up the week before. That's the difference between women and men. Women are all greatest hits, and men are just like innovators in self-sabotage. That's also why we're more successful at committing unaliving, whereas women just attempt to unalive themselves. Men actually commit to it and get that shit done. Because we got the skills to pay the bills. Even when we hang it up sturdy enough to where the ceiling fan doesn't fall on top of us and humiliate us in our fucking apartment building. But that's enough for the gallows humor. Seriously though, at least it was a long week. So not a completely a 40-hour week, but last week was slightly over 40 hours. This one was almost 40 hours. So there's 2 decent paychecks. If I can get a decent paycheck next week and get at 40 hours or just over 40 hours next week, this coming week, that'd be great because that'll help catch me up that much more. And that's really going to fucking help because this cell phone I'm recording this on, screen's cracked, it overheats a lot, and I don't think it's got a lot of life left in it. So it's going to be very important for me to get this phone replaced before it dies on me, because otherwise I'll be up the creek. And you know how phones are. I don't buy flagships, but even the mid-range ones aren't cheap anymore, because nothing is, because strongest economy ever. It occurs to me as I'm sitting here that it's now 15 minutes and 45 seconds that I've been standing in a shower with the water not running, drinking out of a flask, talking to you, and that's a new one. Let's not make a habit of this. Let's stop meeting here. Like, let's never meet here again. Why are you in my shower? You're invading my privacy. I'm gonna record a thing tonight, I think, which I'm gonna use my desktop computer for, because I wanted an audio file recording of my rant that I was planning on having. I do have a rant in mind, a very specific targeted rant, and I was gonna put that up here on YouTube, but I was also gonna do an audio of it to upload elsewhere, podcast style. So maybe I'll see you later tonight. Or not. But unlike my live streams, there will be a VOD. I mean, you'll be able to watch it after it's been recorded and uploaded. You don't have to, see it live, because that's not going to be a live stream. So, you know what? No, I'm going to live stream it. And I'm going to make an audio recording. And I'm going to make a video, upload to YouTube. I'm going to do all of that. Yes, it is going to be live. So I'll see you there. Maybe you'll catch me live.